friends, welcome to the channel CHARTEREDS. In previous video we have learned basic concept of tax. In this video we are going to start a very important chapter, residential status. That is your chapter 2. So chapter 2, residential status. Residential status is very important for the purposes of income tax. So it is very important. Incidence of tax on any assessee depends upon his residential status. The liability of tax arises only when the assessee is resident. Next point, residential status has nothing to do with nationality. Means any person can be resident in any country. Means an Indian can be resident in America, an American can be resident in India. And also, one person can be resident in multiple countries. For example, a person can be resident in India and also in America. So it is possible. Residential status of a person or assessee must be ascertained with reference to each year. Residential status of a person must be ascertained with each year, because a person who is resident in the relevant previous year may become non-resident in the next year, or a person who is non-resident in the year may become resident in the next year. So we should calculate residential status of a person every year. So if a person said to be resident in India, he should satisfy certain conditions. What are those conditions? Let us see. Conditions are given in under section 6 subsection 1. He should satisfy any one of the conditions. They are given two conditions. Any one of the condition must be satisfied. So first condition is he has been in India during the previous year for a total period of 182 days or more. Or second condition, he has been in India during the 4 immediately preceding the previous year for a total period of 365 days or more, and has been in India for at least 60 days in the previous year. So let us understand clearly. The first condition says simply 182 days in the relevant previous year. Second condition says 60 days in relevant previous year and preceding 4 years. He must stay for 365 days. For example, 2020 and 21 is our previous year, right? In this year, he should stay for 60 days. Preceding 4 years means 1920, 1819, 1718, 16, 17th. In these 4 years, he should stay for 365 days. If he satisfies any one of the condition, he will be resident. There are 2 exceptions. First one, for member of crew of an Indian ship or for purposes of employment outside India. Second, Indian citizen or person of Indian origin. Person of Indian origin means a person or his parents or his grandparents who born in India but settled outside India. These persons are called persons of Indian origin. These individuals will be treated as residents only if the period of their stay during the relevant previous year amounts to 182 days. So, if these persons stays for 182 days in the relevant previous year, relevant PY, they will be called as resident. If not, they will be non-resident, irrespective of previous years. So here only one condition, first condition is applicable, second condition is not applicable in section 6 subsection 1. In case of individual being a citizen of India and a member of crew of a ship, the period or periods of stay in India shall, in respect of an eligible voyage, not including the following: the date entered into the continuous discharge certificate in respect of joining the ship, the date entered into the continuous discharge certificate in respect of signing off. Let us understand clearly. For normal persons, means other than crew members of Indian ship, for these persons we should include the date when he leaves India. For example, he leaves India on 6th June and 6th June is considered as stay in India. And it should be included in residential status. While you're calculating residential status of a person, we should include this date as stay in India. And if a person visiting India, let's say 12th December, this date also considered as stay in India. But for crew member of Indian ship shall not include these dates. Means these dates are considered as non-resident. And these dates will be mentioned in CDC, means continuous discharge certificate. It is seafarer's identity document. Identity document. In this document, every information of that person will be mentioned, and the dates when he will join and when he will sign off the ship will be mentioned in this document. So let us see an illustration. Mr. A is an Indian citizen and a member of crew of a Singapore bound Indian ship departing from Chennai port on 6th June 2017. Determine the residential status of Mr. A for assessment year 1819, assuming that his stay in India in that last 4 previous year is 400 days and last 7 previous years is 750 days. Here we should consider that he is a member of crew of a Singapore bound Indian ship departing from Chennai on 6th June 2017, and the date entered in CDC is 6th June, joining date and signing off date is 9th December 2017. So we should ascertain residency status of this person for the year 1718. So let us calculate. So he is in India on from 1/4/17 to 6th June 17, and he returns on 9th December. So from 10th December to 31st March 18. So on April 30 days, April, May. For June we should consider it as 5 days, because 6th June we should not consider for crew member of ship. From 10th December to means 9th is excluded. From 10th December to 31st March. So in December 22 days, January 31 days, February 28 days, plus March 31 days. 66 days in here and 112 days here. Totally he stays in India for 178 days. So it doesn't satisfy 182 days condition. So he is a non-resident. He is a non-resident. We should not consider these informations, that is previous year informations, because it is in the exceptions. So next we have resident and ordinary resident. Resident but not ordinary resident. This is for individual and for HUF only. For other category of assessees, only resident and non-resident. So these conditions are given in section 6 subsection 6. So let's read first condition. He is a resident in any two out of the last 10 years preceding the relevant previous year, and here both the condition must be satisfied for to set to, here both the condition must be satisfied. Second condition is his total stay in India in the last 7 years preceding the relevant previous year is 730 days or more. Let us understand clearly. So first condition is he is a resident in any two out of the last 10 years, means preceding the previous year. It is 2021 is previous year, preceding the 10 years 2019, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 0. In these 10 years, he must be resident for 2 years, and in last 7 years preceding the relevant previous year, means preceding the relevant previous 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In these 7 years, you should stay for 730 days. So, is it clear? So, next we have illustration 2. Brett Lee, an Australian cricketer, visits India for 100 days in every year for last 10 years. Find out his residential status for the assessment year 18-19. So we should find out residential status for 17-18, because here given assessment year. So he was visiting India for 100 days every year for the past 10 years. First, we will take off the section 6 subsection 1. Under this section, first condition cannot be satisfied because he stays only for 100 days every year. We should check out second condition. In second condition, 60 days in relevant previous year and 365 days in the preceding 4 years. He stays for 365 days in 4 preceding previous year, right? But in the relevant previous year, he stays for 100 days, and in the 4 years, he stays for 400 days. So, he is a resident. Next, section 6, subsection 6. We should find out that he is ordinary resident or not. Let us check. Under section 6, subsection 6, first condition was 2 years out of 10 years and 730 days out of 7 years, right? First condition cannot be satisfied because every year he stays for only 100 days. Second condition, let us check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 years. In the 7 years, he stays only for 700 days. So, it doesn't satisfy both the conditions of section 6, subsection 6. So, he is called resident but not ordinarily resident. Resident but not ordinarily resident. Let us see third question. So, Mr. B, a Canadian citizen, comes to India for the first time during the previous year 2013-14. During the financial year 2013-14, 14-15, 15-16, 16-17 and 17-18, he was in India for 55 days, 60 days, 90 days, 150 days and 70 days respectively. Determine is residential status for the assessment year 1819. For the assessment year 1819 means we should find out for 1718. So he was in India for in 1718 70 days, 1617 50 150 days, in 1516 90 days, 1415 60 days, 1314 55 days, right? Under 6 section 6 subsection 1, first condition cannot be satisfied because he stays only for 70 days. We should check out for second condition, that is 60 days in relevant previous year and 365 days in preceding 4 years. So in the relevant previous year he stays for 70 days and in preceding 4 years he stays for 355 days. So he is non-resident. So next we have residential status of HUF. HUF is resident if control and management of its affairs is situated wholly or partly in India. If the HUF controls its business and manages its business in India partly or wholly, then it is resident. Non-resident if control and management of affairs is situated only outside India. So basically HUF is outside India. Resident and ordinarily resident. If Kata is resident and ordinary resident, then the HUF is resident and ordinary resident. Resident but not ordinary resident. If Kata is resident but not ordinary resident, then HUF is resident but not ordinary resident. These both are dependent on Kata, and resident and non-resident is depends on control and management. Next we have residential status of local authority and artificial judicial person. Resident if control and management of its affairs is situated wholly or partly in India. Non-resident if control and management of affairs is situated wholly outside India, same as HUF. Residential status of firm and association of persons. Resident if control and management of its affairs is situated wholly or partly in India. Control and management of affairs is situated wholly or wholly outside India for non-resident, same as HUF. Residential status of companies. A company would be resident in India in any previous year if it is an Indian company. Resident, automatically it will be resident. Its place of effective management in that year is in India. Place of effective management means major decisions taken in India. It is called place of effective management in that year. is in India, then it is company is resident. If not, place of effective management is outside India, then company is non-resident. Thank you for watching video.